Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Play Too Much sessions. My name's Brad Wagner. I'll be your host today. I'm in snowy New York as usual, and we're joined today from sunny Los Angeles, or maybe drizzly Los Angeles, by Good Bison. Pablo, thanks for being here, man.
What's up? Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. It is sunny today, so not mad about that. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna share this on our Facebook page so everyone there can tune in as well. And
Nice one. Yeah, dude, that's always the good move. We want your people to know that this is happening live. It's always fun to be able to interact with the comment section a little bit. If anybody comments here and it's more interesting than whatever the thing was that I was about to say, I'll definitely put it up on screen and and we'll chat. Dude, thanks for doing this and congratulations on Scattered Storms. The EP is out in the world, and it just came out earlier this. Well, I guess it's February now, but it came out in January, so this is hot off the presses. It exists. It's out in the world. We'll hear two songs from that. We're gonna hear stuff from across the catalog, man. There's one from Buffalo Roots, the debut EP. We're gonna hear one that came out as a single right before Scattered Storms came out, and yeah, dude, there's a lot of your music to be shared with the internet today.
yeah, I'm super excited. Again, thank you for having me. And yeah, Scattered Storms came out the last Friday of January, which was last Friday. It's on Spotify, it's on Amazon, Tidal, whatever you use to stream music. And I've been
Sweet.
telling people, if you don't use streaming services, I'll come outside your window and just blast it on a boombox, John Cusack style. So
Yeah, or potentially come outside of the opening to your cave and play some music. If you're not on streaming services, likely you live in a cave, but that is a wonder. That's a generous offer. I'm sure that
yeah,
that
yeah,
could.
just hit me up. I'll zoom right over.
Sweet, man. Well, what's coming up first? Are you going to start out with Scattered Storms, or do you feel like going chronologically, or what do you feel like doing first today?
I think chronologically is the way I'm gonna go with it. The first song is off Buffalo Roots, like you were saying. That's an EP that I worked on back in 2016, not too long after moving to Los Angeles. This was actually, I think, the first song that I wrote for that EP. It's called The Machine, and there's a video for it on YouTube. I don't really have too much more to say about it. I'll just dive right in.
All right, sounds good.
This is this is The Machine off Buffalo Roots. I just keep bottling up till I'm bottoming now. Maybe I'm proud with a cap and a gown, but I rap for the crown that I picture whenever I'm sleeping. I feel like I'm tweaking, I'm getting obsessed and I'm feeling depressed. Always got a rhyme to get shit off my chest. No jest, I can't hold a conversation when we talk like adults. I get impatient, so I'd rather just smile and ignore the notion that I don't have a grasp over my emotions. Damn, that's getting too heavy already. We should go take a dip in the ocean. Let's all take shots and then swim in the moonlight. Starving artists, we got nothing to do, right? Don't mind me, I'm doing just fine for the time being. Light me up another one while we're still young, while we're still young. Light me up another one while we're still young. Cause I remember where we came from. Why you gotta call me when I'm all up in my zone? Why you gotta call me when I'm all up in my zone? Who the fuck leaves a voicemail? All I could afford was a Motel 6. Cause I'm broke as hell and it's cold as shit. And I'm working hard but I wanna quit. So I ain't got time for your calls. Why are you busting my balls? You need a pause cause I'm leaving it all. You know my team is involved. Man, we out here straight couch surfing, trying to make our way to the west coast. Trunk full of weed and our best clothes. Wanna make it big on the net though. You could leave a voicemail, I can't promise it'll reach me. I've got 1,300 miles to go. Leave a message at the tone. Light me up another one while we're still young, while we're still young. Light me up another one while we're still young. Cause I remember where we came from. Why you gotta call me when I'm all up in my zone? Why you gotta call me when I'm all up in my zone? disconnected. Please don't try again.
Yeah, thank you, Pablo.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, that's fun, dude. You mentioned that you worked on that shortly after moving to LA. I know that you've been around quite a bit, from Bogota to Miami to LA. For anybody who's not familiar with that origin story and how you find yourself to be here right now, can you talk a little bit about all the geographic moves that have gone into your story and sort of what you picked up along the way and how that's added to the songs you've written?
Of course, I was born in Bogota. That's the capital of Colombia, and even in my earliest years, I moved around a lot. I didn't stay in Bogota. I lived all over the place, but went back to Bogota when I was 7 years old. And after a couple years there, my mom just really decided that we were gonna search for a better life in the States. So we moved to Miami. I actually landed in Miami on July 4th, 1999. And so there was fireworks and stuff. I didn't know anything about Independence Day. I was
This
like,
is just
wow.
like every day in Miami, they just do big fireworks. They heard you were coming and let off some
Yeah,
fireworks.
they were, oh, Pablo and his mom are moving? Yeah, we gotta,
Party time.
yeah, celebrate. But yeah, Miami is a very Latin culture. So I remember kind of being a little nervous that maybe I wouldn't be able to communicate with people. But I mean, you basically land in the plane and it's welcome to Miami, bienvenidos a Miami. You go anywhere, you're more likely to run into someone that doesn't want to talk to you in English than someone that doesn't have any Spanish at all. So living in Miami, I got immersed a lot in a lot of different Latin culture because Miami's full of Cubans, it's full of Puerto Ricans. It's very different from Colombia, but also right away I kind of started diving into American media. I got really into hip hop. I got really into movies. I've always loved consuming TV and movies. I listened to a lot of punk growing up, and that was kind of what I guess would define my teenage years. I was skateboarding all the time. That was one of the first groups that I really felt a part of, was just skateboarding and hanging out with people. Sometimes you didn't even know them. It was just you guys went to the same spot and you skated at the same spot, and maybe friendships developed, or maybe it was just cool, we skate together and I'll see you when I see you. After spending all those years in Miami, I started making music when I was 17, and it really snowballed much quicker than I ever anticipated, because I didn't go into it with the idea that I wanted to be a professional musician and I wanted this to be my career. I just kind of had fun recording. My buddy invited me over to his house. He had a studio set up in his bathroom, and that was how it started. It was very organic. I was just doing it for fun, but it was such an amazing creative outlet for me, and I honestly loved the reception that the music got early on. So that motivated me to go get my own microphone. I remember I drove to Best Buy. I bought myself a USB mic. I was recording like a song a week minimum during my senior year of high school.
Nice.
And after that, I was in a band in Miami called Dinosaurs and Disasters, and we played all over the East Coast. We played in New York. We played South Florida, basically every venue that you can imagine, and I was really, really loving the band experience. But during the recording sessions for our second EP, the band kind of fell apart, and that's when I remember me and two other members of the band, which are Mowdy and Seabass, we left the meeting where the band kind of fell apart, and we got in the car and basically just looked at each other and we're like, so we're moving to Los Angeles, right? Because there was something about Miami that just felt a little constraining. Even though Miami does have a huge music scene, Miami's really into electronic music and obviously Latin music, and we were a rock band with hip hop influences. People didn't even like to see you setting up a drum set. If they saw you setting up a drum set, they were like, okay, I'm gonna go outside. uh, that's what really motivated me to come out to LA. We came out to LA in 2014, just literally packed everything inside a car and drove across the country. It was an amazing road trip. We didn't do it quickly. We took around 11 days and just got to see a bunch of different cities. We never knew where we were going to go next. In the morning, we would just pull out a map and be like, well, this city seems interesting, and it's not 15 hours of driving, it's more around 8 to 10. So that was an awesome experience, and got out here to LA, didn't have a place to live, didn't have a job lined up, was hopping around different friends' couches. It was just kind of a spur of the moment decision, but something that ended up really paying off because I've met a lot of amazing musicians out here. I've just made some really cool connections, and that I guess that's the background of how I'm here, why I'm here, and how those different cultures come into play.
Yeah, dude, that's great, man. Thank you for sharing the story. Yeah, there's a reason why the concentration of people who are driven to do the same thing that you were driven to do, LA and New York tend to be the places where that happens, because that concentration of those people that are seeking that thing are just there, and it makes it easier to develop that community. I mean, I did the exact same thing. I packed up all my stuff, drove to LA. This is like more than 15 years ago, probably. Ended up interning at Brian McKnight's studio in Glendale. And I mean, I'm not an audio professional these days. I am a video professional, but that was kind of what kicked off the entire thing. And it was wonderful. You know, I wouldn't take that back for anything. I'm glad that you had that experience, and clearly you knew what you needed to do, and it's working, man. You're on your way. And so congratulations. And there's a lot more of your music to be shared with the internet, man. What do you feel like doing second today?
I think we can dive into Nowhere to Go now. Nowhere to Go was a single I released in May 2020. And what I always find really funny about this song is that if you listen to the lyrics, especially the hook, your first reaction would be like, oh, this guy wrote this during quarantine. This is a very pandemic inspired song. But it's not true whatsoever. It was actually written in December 2019 and January 2020. A few friends of mine drove from Miami to LA just to spend New Year's with us, and we got in the studio. We were messing around. Just my buddy Abraham was playing piano. He's an amazing pianist, and the melody and the lyrics just kind of came to me. I've got nowhere to go, and it wasn't as literal as it became during quarantine. It was more of this idea of not knowing what to do next, or feeling kind of stagnant and stuck. We wrote that, finished it in January, but it wasn't until a few months into quarantine that I realized this song's weirdly relevant and specific to the times, and I revisited it. That was actually the first song that I worked on with a Slightly Stupid producer, George Spitz. He took it and mixed it, mastered it, and gave it the life it has now. So, but I always just find it really funny that it wasn't written during the time that you would expect.
All right, man. Well, thank you for the words behind it and the context, and we'd love to hear the music.
Definitely. All right, here we go. Nowhere to go. I'm better alone. Anything they have to say, I done heard it already. I'm minding my own while at home, but truth be told, ain't shit changed. I know I'm not old, but I feel my age. I don't act it though, won't let my cactus grow. I'm out of practice, yo. So shine a light and set me free. I've got a longing for the sea, 'cause waves the only thing that crash as much as me. I put myself back together so many times, I'd say that it's a wonder I ain't lost my mind. I got nowhere to go, I got no one to see. It's all gonna be good, believe you, me, between you and me. I still got a couple tricks up my sleeve. I've got nowhere to go. I've got nowhere to go. I've got nowhere to go. I've got nowhere to go.
All right, thanks, man. Man, so this is cool. These songs hold up well in this arrangement, just voice and acoustic guitar. Can you talk a bit more about what the recorded versions sound like, in case people are just now becoming familiar with your music? I know you said that bathroom studio of your buddies, and then that precipitated you to buy a USB mic at Best Buy, which is as good a place to start as any. Is the recording scenario similar still? I mean, do you do home studio stuff, and do you turn all the knobs, or do you work with an outside producer, or what does it look like when you go into the studio to create?
So the music that I've been working on recently has all been made at home for the most part. Definitely upgraded the equipment significantly from those Best Buy USB mic days. But it's what I love about the music that I've been working on recently is that in a lot of ways it feels like the one that I was making when I was 17, when I was getting inside my closet. It wasn't even a walk-in closet. I was just cramped in there and recording the vocals myself. And back in those days, I would mix it and do everything. But Nowhere to Go, I collaborated on it with Abraham and Seabass. They're two musicians who I work with a lot. That was more produced and made in the it was made in the home studio, but it was made using Ableton and Logic and just a lot of different sounds and a lot of really cool effects. And what we didn't do ourselves was the actual final production and the mixing and the mastering. We sent that off to George, and George is someone who I've known for a long time. He was in a band in Miami called Llama Beats, and he works with incredible artists, not just Slightly Stupid, has worked with really, really awesome acts. So he did the final production and the mixing and mastering of Nowhere to Go, but with a lot of communication. There's a lot of back and forth between him and I, where he'll send me a version, I'll give my notes. It's always super collaborative in that sense. And then Scattered Storms, which are the songs that I'll play next, those were even more organic because we didn't do any software production for it. It's all they were all written on acoustic guitar. The acoustic guitar it was literally this acoustic guitar that we used to record at home, and then we used a bass to record the bass lines, and then we had this. They were basically toys, a shaker and a tambourine that we used to lay down some acoustic percussion. Then we sent that off to George also, and George played drums on it. So it's very much a deviation from the sound of the other Good Bison stuff, where we were relying a little bit more on synthesizers and 808s and different things. Because, for example, The Machine, which was the first song I played, we wrote that ourselves but finalized it with Jayhawk Productions, who's an incredible LA producer, has worked with pretty much all the top hip-hop acts, and was instrumental in getting the jerkin movement off the ground, if you remember that from back in 2007 or whenever.
Yeah.
The year jerk era of hip-hop. He was pretty much the guy who made that happen. So it has progressed and changed a lot over time, gone from a more hip-hop produced sound to what it is on Scattered Storms, which I'd say has a more typical band sound, because all the instruments are real, which was something that was really important to me. And yeah, it wouldn't have been able to happen without George, who's just incredible.
Well, dude, that's awesome, man. It's that I would hope for that from every single artist, where there is a significant evolution from one to the next. That just means that we've got to stay tuned and figure out what's going to come out of your brain next, because I feel confident that it's going to be, that there will be another evolution. Who knows? I mean, maybe you already know where it's going to go next. I don't, and that's what makes it all interesting and fun. So thanks for sharing that with us. And the music, man, we're about to dive into the Scattered Storms EP, which, again, if you're just joining us, that just came out a couple of weeks ago, and I think we're about to hear two from that.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into Scattered Storms now, and also I'm surprised that you say that they translate well to the acoustic format, because I've always felt that my music in general translates well to acoustic format. A lot of the music that I've written over the years started on an acoustic guitar, but I am not a guitar player by any means. I usually depend heavily on Maudi, who's been working with me since we were both 17, and he's an incredible guitarist. I've only been playing guitar for a couple years now, and I'm very sloppy compared to him, and compared to people who actually practice and play guitar. But these songs are all simple enough that I can handle them, and they are also very personal to me, so it means a lot to be able to play them on guitar. But also, they're not even close to how they really sound on the record, where it's a much better guitarist is playing the guitar parts, and they also just have so much life in the other instruments, that this is pretty different from what you'll hear if you go on Spotify.
Yeah, I've been listening to the record, to the EP, quite a bit this week, and yeah, I mean, I recognize that as being the case as well. But it's not necessarily. I mean, the technical precision is an important part, and I mean, I think it's very important for the studio version. But the technical precision of just getting the vibe out there, that's not the number one ingredient. Like, being precise and being a good player, there's an importance to that, and I respect anybody who really has spent the time and taken the time to get really good at it. But in order to get that vibe across, I think that's the primary thing, which is exactly what you're doing here today, regardless of how long you've played the guitar. So I think, I'm having a great time. I hope you're having a good time playing these as well.
Yeah, I'm having a blast. Thanks again. So I guess we can dive into Scattered Storms now.
Yeah, please.
I'm going to start with a song called Lunatic, which was actually the second single off the project, and there's a music video and a visualizer for it available on YouTube right now. They're both different and a lot of fun, and I think it's worthwhile to get the full Lunatic experience to watch both of them. This is one of the first songs that I wrote on guitar. I had never been able to craft music in another way besides writing lyrics. I've always thought of myself as a writer, but with these two songs that I'm going to do next, starting with Lunatic, they started on guitar. I wrote the chords for them and kind of pulled the words out of thin air. So it was a very different songwriting process for me. Let's dive into Lunatic. Lost the road, told my friends they're not alone. Time is on our side tonight, but I know it's a trip. I'm a lunatic, trapped inside these record skips. I lost my mind on a day when I couldn't wait. Patience was just never one of my traits. I want it right out the gate. Open the safe. I was too eager to get me a taste of that forbidden fruit. I heard that it's juicy. Go on and seduce me like I do the loose leaf. I've only got 2 seats. It's kind of a nuisance. Long as I'm moving and lucid, I don't feel so useless. Threw in my 2 cents and didn't make change. That's why I sit here abusing my brain. It's hard to keep track of the days when everyone's wasted. I can't find my way back home. I've lost the road, told my friends they're not alone. Time is on our side tonight, but I know it's a trip. I'm a lunatic, trapped inside these record skips. I can't find my way back home. I've lost the road, told my friends they're not alone. Time is on our side tonight, but I know it's a trip. I'm a lunatic, trapped inside these record skips.
Thanks, man. That's fun, dude. I like these songs a lot. I've been enjoying it. The internet, if anybody's just joining us right now, we're in the middle of hearing a number of songs, but the last 2 today are from Scattered Storms. It just came out. It's hot off the presses and out in the world. And I feel like, do you want to just roll straight into the next one from Scattered Storms?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Song's called Since I Left Miami. All my clothes lay unfolded on the floor. There's some people faster and going wider than Casper. Exasperated, exhausted examples of how I lost it seem to stack up in my conscious till I'm nothing but a hostage. I can't find a way to focus, like my mind is full of locusts. Give me time to train with Goku and I'll beat the one who broke us. I am supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you wanna poison me, you're gonna need a stronger potion. I'll get wavy and vibrate in the space between this moment and the next. I'm trying to steal a longer breath. There's no air in outer space. There's nowhere to work on Mars. I'd say this trip has been a waste, but there's no way I went that far. All my clothes lay unfolded on the floor, and there's some people who can't get me on the phone. Tell them my bed is broken and I can't get a good night's sleep since I left Miami. I've grown tired, I've grown weak, but I'm gonna get my money right, you'll see. I'm gonna get my money right, you'll see. All my clothes lay unfolded on the floor. There's some people who can't get me on the phone. Tell them my bed is broken and I can't get a good night's sleep since I left Miami. I've grown tired, I've grown weak, but I'm gonna get my money right, you'll see. I'm gonna get my money right. Nah, 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 nah. Wait till I get my money right. Nah, 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 nah. Then you can't tell me nothing, right?
Nice one. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, this has been cool, dude. Thank you for sharing the music. That was 2 from Scattered Storms, which just came out. The EP is out in the world. All of the music you played today is out. One was from the first EP, Buffalo Roots, and then Nowhere to Go exists as a single out in the world. And man, we'll stay tuned for what's next, which is, are there public plans for what's next? Do you know what's coming next? I mean, I know that's a kind of a weird question considering Scattered Storms just came out 2 weeks ago, but do you know? Do you have a sense of what might be in the works, or is this just too soon to even speculate?
Part of me does feel like it's too soon, but I still have a lot of exciting plans around Scattered Storms. There's a visualizer that's going to come out for Black Garlic, and there's another visualizer that's going to come out for Since I Left Miami, which is the song that I just played. I have a song in the chamber, if that's the correct saying, which is actually one that I was working on before Scattered Storms, and I really want to release it in the not too distant future. It's called I Can't Seem to Find My Place, and it's a very special song to me. That is something that I want to follow up this project with. I'm also going to start organizing more virtual shows. Before the pandemic hit, I was organizing monthly shows here in Los Angeles with both local and touring up and coming musicians, and it was an amazing experience just being able to get together with people and play live music. Playing live is such a huge part of this for me, and obviously things have changed in the past year, but I'm going to be organizing a version of what I was doing before in the virtual world. And
nice, dude. Well, best of luck with that, and we'll stay tuned, man. Hopefully we cross paths in reality, sooner than later, when it's possible to be back out on the road and when you make your way to New York, I'll be here doing this for the foreseeable future. And I don't know if you saw that just now, but Kata Alvarez is tuned in right now. Colombia is very much here. Hello, Kata.
Oh,
I'm glad that you're
nice.
able to tune in. Yeah, man, this has been a lot of fun, dude. Congratulations on everything, and I'll see you hopefully in the world at some point in 2021, maybe 2022. But I've got the sense that you'll be around and doing this for a very long time, just as I will. So we'll cross paths and hoist a beverage and sing some songs.
For sure. I definitely see that happening. Hopefully sooner than later.
All right, man. Well, dude, have a great rest of your Tuesday.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
All right, man.